Today, I want to have a look at the top 10 teams, or kind of power ranking, I believe someone called it. Thank you, Michael Aries. I probably butchered that name. I should get a t shirt. I probably butchered your name. But thank you for the idea. I've had a sit down, and I think I've got my top 10. Now, I've done this off of overall finishing, so where you came in your league and in Europe. I've only done Europe. I'm including the South African teams in this, obviously. They competed in all the European competitions. And yeah, so let's get into it. So we'll go from 10 to 1 because it means that to find out where we've ranked some of the teams, you've got to stay for longer. Yay, fun. So starting off at 10th, I've put Sale Sharks. Now, I know they made the Premiership final. They lost it, obviously, but I would have them higher on their league performance. They came second in the actual table as well of the Premiership. Not that the Premiership's been that great this season, but still, it's got some decent teams in there. But what really knocked them down this list for me was the fact that they failed to get out of the group stage of the Champions Cup, dropped down to the Challenge Cup, and then got knocked out instantly by Cardiff in the Challenge Cup in the round of 16. So they didn't do much at all in Europe. That's the reason why I've taken them out. Not taken them out, they're this low. The league performance was brilliant, but the European performance was a bit iffy, and there's so many better teams on here for Europe. Speaking of teams that's slightly better in Europe, 9, I've gone with Leicester. Now, Leicester came third in the Premiership. They made the semi-final. Was it Sale they lost in the semi-final, I believe? I think it was. Yes, it was. They lost to Sale 21-13 in the semi-final. So, I'm saying they came third. I know they just made the semi-final. There's not between them and Northampton, and they both lost the semis. But they came third in the table, so I'm going to class them as coming third. But why I've put them above Sale is that they managed to qualify for the Champions and made the quarter-finals of the Champions Cup, which I think is a significantly better achievement in Europe to put them higher up. That's my thinking anyway. Number 8 is a team that did well in Europe, but not so great in their league, and that's Toulon. They won the Challenge Cup, went all the way through, beat Glasgow in the final, but they came 7th in the top 14 and didn't even make the playoffs, which I think is why I've got them so low. I think they have obviously secured Champions Cup for next year through both the league and winning the Challenge, but I know the top 14 is a super competitive league, but we're talking about the kind of best teams, and 7th in the league isn't that good. The only reason they're on here is because they did really well in Europe, obviously winning the Challenge, and 7th I could justify putting them in. Speaking of 7th, I've put Glasgow. Now this might be a few people. Nah, I don't think you can really argue with many of these, to be honest. But I can. Glasgow, they came 4th in the URC in the table. They did get knocked out by Munster in the quarter-finals, but that's still decent. And obviously they lost the Challenge Cup final to Toulon. So 2nd in the Challenge, 4th in the URC, and going out in the quarters isn't too bad of a season. I think it's better than. I'd much rather be 4th in the league and 2nd in the Challenge. Actually, no, I'd rather, as an Edinburgh fan, I'd rather just win a trophy. But you know what I mean. 4th in the league, I feel like is slightly better than winning one final, maybe. I mean, that 4th did lead to playoffs, so I can see why. Again, number 6 is another team that did really well in their league, but not so great in Europe, which is why they're slightly lower. Number 6, I've gone with Munster. Now, obviously, they won the URC, but that's primarily to an outstanding playoff performance. You know, they kind of had a bang average season for them in the league, coming 5th, which is kind of bang average for Munster. But what really puts them down is they got knocked out by Sharks in the round of 16 of the Champions Cup. That's the South Africa, the Cell C Sharks, not the Cell Sharks. And I think all the other teams above them, or were all deservedly above them, due to several factors. So Munster, again, not bad, but there's just been better. I think most Munster fans would agree that their win of the URC was based on their playoff performance over their league performance. Number 5, I've gone with the Stormers. They came second in the URC, third in the league table. They lost the final to Munster, and made the quarterfinals of the Champions Cup. So, not quite as good as last year, I don't think, but still, you know, I'm not talking about last year here, I'm talking about this year. That's still good, you know. Second in the league, was in the final of the URC, came third in the table, which again is decent. Then the quarterfinal of the Champions Cup. I think they needed to go further in the Champions Cup if they wanted to come higher. Yeah, that's all I can say about Stormers. They're a really good team though. Like I think that all the teams above them just had much better. Although again, same as everyone on it, they didn't have a bad season. Obviously, it's the top 10 in Europe. Number 4, I've gone with Saracens. Obviously, they won the Premiership and topped the league as well. And what made me put them at 4 below the next 3 teams is the fact that they only made the quarterfinals of the Champions Cup. I think if they'd made the semis, I think I could have put them, you know, 3 or 2. And if they'd won the Champions Cup, I think they'd be 1. They won the league, topped the group, and won the Champions. You know, that's a perfect season. But I think they needed to have done better in the Champions Cup for me to put them much higher than 4th. Number 3, now, the thing is, when I'm ranking the top French teams, their season isn't actually finished. Although I'm not sure if I would change them. I may swap this team, Toulouse, slightly round with number 2 if they were to go on and win the league. Obviously, we don't know that yet. They are in the semi-final, topping the table. So I've said they're first in the top 14 at the minute. So they've got automatic qualification to the semi-final. And they made the semi-final of the Champions Cup. So, you know, really good. Obviously, the top 14, I'd probably argue, is the most competitive league at the minute. Slightly above the URC. Yeah, and they topped that, obviously. It made the semi-finals. And the semi-finals of the Champions Cup, that's a good run for them. Second is Leinster. They obviously came top of the URC, went out in that dramatic semi-final, lost to Munster, and obviously came second in the Champions Cup. So, again, didn't win anything. Again, I mean, I know I've said it several times, but they're still slightly off. Like, they've done really, really well, and I think if they even won either the URC or the Champions Cup, I would have happily have put them in first. But because they didn't, and obviously the team in first has won stuff. That's obviously La Rochelle, number 1. They came second in the group of top 14 in the league table, which also, as well as Toulouse, gives them automatic qualification to the semi-final. Obviously, now the quarterfinals haven't been played, so we don't know who they're playing yet. The finals are still, I think it's the middle of June, the final, so there's still a few weeks on that. And obviously they won the Champions Cup. So, yeah. I think that's kind of what I'd have. I can see if Toulouse do go on to win the top 14, I can see an argument for swapping them with Leinster. Although, if anything else, I think that's kind of where it's at. So, just give you a quick rundown before the video ends. 10, Sale. 9, Leicester. 8, Toulon. 7, Glasgow. 6, Munster. 5, Stormers. 4, Saracens. 3, Toulouse. 2, Leinster. And 1, La Rochelle. I think that's fair. Let me know what you think, if you'd change them about, if you'd add anyone, if you're not happy with any teams being there. And make sure to smash the subscribe if you enjoy. I'm really hoping to hit 50 subs soon. We're not far away at all. I know we can. And yeah, I'll see you next time.